tracking. Do you think the world has been turned off its axis right now politically? Pushed off its axis.
Well, certainly, but you know, I don't think that the ecological crisis is a political issue. So it gets me a little annoyed when, even in response to our film, some people say that because our film does make reference to, you know, humans interfering and the sixth mass extinction that we're in now, defining this as a political issue is very confusing and perplexing to me. It's not about politics. So politics essentially is not of interest to me. I'm just concerned about people being aware of what your consciousness is, where you are, and how it's treated, and the interrelationships of all ecosystems and everything on this planet. So this is not a political issue to me. I don't understand how it can even be considered such.
Well, it's maybe politics that has to save the problem.
Politics doesn't seem to save anything. Politics is a kind of distraction, and now politics is controlled on the planet by it's corporate politics. So this for me is the problem. The sad thing is, though, it's in our hands, and if people were aware of this, and I'm as guilty as anyone else, what am I doing? I'm making a silly film with wonderful people, but you know, it's in the hands. If everyone here, for example, decided to boycott a certain corporation because they don't like their activities, you could take them down. We have the possibility to do these things, but time is running out very quickly. And my heart is with young people like the Sunrise Movement and people who have made this their major concern, because their love of life and of the details of living on this planet that are incredibly beautiful and strange. And if you imagine in the universe, what chances are there of life as we understand it throughout the universe? It's a very rare, brief thing. It's a very beautiful thing to have our consciousness here. So I hope people appreciate it, I guess.
Is there any optimism in that, or are you like the Adam Driver character who thinks that it's going to end well? And not well.
Well, there is for me optimism, because we do have people that are concerned with it and are making it their focus, mostly younger people. But yeah, there's optimism for sure. But it's just that the time frame is speeding up very quickly.
All right, I think we have a question.
Oh, also, I just want to say, in our film, you know, my optimism lies with Hermit Bob, who people say is the negative, saying negative things, but and also with the teenagers from the detention center. And I didn't want either of those three kids or Hermit Bob to be zombified in the end. So to me, my hope lies with those people that have already been kind of pushed out or by choice left a kind of social order that is decaying. So, and I love teenagers. I have a lot of hope in teenagers, and teenagers too, I just gotta say, have brought us so many, you know, they define our clothes, our style, our music, lots of cultural things. And so teenagers bring us our changes in music and so many things, and yet teenagers are treated quite badly mostly and told to grow up, and they have a lot of difficulties going on inside them just physically. So I have a lot of, I don't know, I say, come on, I'm with the teenagers. I really appreciate them.
To ask Mr. Bill Murray who is working with Mr. Jim Jarmusch in order to get the sense of humor and get the tone in the movie, in these zombie movies. How was the experience to work with Mr. Jarmusch?
Well, he's a barrel of laughs. He is. He doesn't need my help with a sense of humor, particularly we just work on posture and manners. And it's a delight to be on the job. Making movies is a dangerous business. It's far more dangerous than people think. And every day you go to work, there's the chance that someone could be seriously injured or hurt. And it sounds crazy, because we look so fabulous up here, especially the men who I'm going to stick up for fashion-wise. When you think of the danger and the jeopardy that we went through just getting into this building today. So I think that trying to keep light and realize that this could be the last day of shooting every single day is a way to come to work. That this is your wrap day, this is my final day of work, and you try to treat it that way, and you try to treat everyone on the set that way. It kind of makes it easier. You want to be one less burden for the director. He's I mean, look what he has to deal with up here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why aren't you protecting our director in the corner? So I hope I've confused you.
I got a question for Joshua and Carter. Is it easy to set up a zombie movie by Jim Jarmusch in Hollywood? Is it easy to set up this movie?
Wait, in Hollywood?
I mean, yeah, in America. Sorry.
No.
Why not?
I think making every movie is challenging. This one in particular, you know, there's a lot coming at you, and there was a lot coming at us. Zombies were real. They involved hours of makeup and stunt training and quite a lot of planning and execution on top of making a normal film. I think that was new for both Josh and I, along with Jim, on the level that we executed in this film. And I think that the results speak for themselves. We had an incredible team of VFX experts, stunt people, the most enthusiastic group of extras I've ever encountered. So everyone really came together to do this, and can't thank them enough.
Just in terms of setting up the film.
I'm not aware of any dress code on the red carpet, and I think that the men all look spectacular all the time. Especially when they're wearing Haider Ackermann.
I think we have a question in the second row.
With fashion. I read an interview with Haider Ackermann recently, and obviously a lot of thought goes into how you look in the red carpet, and in comparison...
The incredible DP, Mr. Frederick Ernst. And the costume designer, Catherine George.
The modernization and the materialization is affecting our humanity, and it is overwhelming.
Yes. No, I think, this whole culture of commodity fetishism is very detrimental and kind of strange. So, yeah, I don't know what more to say really about it. But I wanted to say one thing since we're ending here. I wanted to respond to what you asked Selena. I just want to say Selena has been incredibly admirable in my consciousness of encouraging young people to have their own will and be strong people. And she is looked up to by so many young people because of her personality and her will and supportiveness. And it's really remarkable. She's a remarkable person. And I just want to say, I wrote this film thinking of Tilda, of Bill Murray, of Chloe, Steve Buscemi, Adam Driver, people I'd worked with before that I really love, and then my chance to work with other people that I had not worked with, like Selena or Danny Glover or Caleb Landry Jones, people whose work I love. So I'm just so honored to have made this film with them, with Josh and Carter, with collaborators like Fred Elms, who I've worked with for many years, many films, and he has taught me so many things about how you make a film. And all these collaborators, Catherine George is remarkable, and our editor too, Afonso Gonçalves. And I just want to say, whatever the film is, I don't really know. We did our best, but I'm just so honored to have had this chance to work with such remarkable people. I feel like, what a gift, And so if you think the film is negative or my personal philosophy is negative, it's not. I'm very overjoyed to even be here with all of you. So anyway, thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Avec plaisir.
The movie and the ideas behind it. In the movie, you made the zombies were really keen about very materialistic things that.
You said that social media has been terrible for the younger generation with all the people being exposed and all the rest of it. As someone who's got 150 million followers on Instagram, what more can you do to be able to make these social media sites a better place? And what more should these big tech companies be doing to make it a safer place for people to exist?
I think it's pretty impossible to make it safe at this point. There's no blocking anything. They're exposed to it immediately. And again, I'm very grateful I have the platform. So in any way that I can, I'll share things that I'm really passionate about. I also don't do a lot of pointless pictures. I think for me, I like to be intentional with it. It just scares me, that's all. Because I see these young girls, and I'll meet them in meet and greets or something, and they're just devastated dealing with bullying and not being able to have their own voice. So, yeah, it can be great in moments, but I would just be careful and allow yourself some time limits of when you should use it and when you shouldn't.
Okay, we have time for one more question.
You will find 4 movies directed by women. What do you think about that figure?
Not enough.
More.
There should be more. Yeah, there should be more. We live in a world that's, divided equally amongst genders, and therefore they should be represented equally. It's not very much more complicated than that.
At the same time, I would remind us that women have been making films for 11 decades now. There are countless films by women out there. The question is, why do we not necessarily know about them? You have a great master like Kira Muratova, who died recently. Her obituary was that size in most national newspapers, whereas we know the great male masters that we know and appreciate, when they pass on, will have whole, issues dedicated to them. We have our women filmmakers. Some of them are working bars. Some of them are still in schools. Some of them can't get into the schools. That's where we need to start. We need to look at the canon. We need to appreciate it. We need to screen it We need to buy tickets for films by women, and then we will know that it exists amongst us. It's not some other thing out there that we have to somehow find. It all exists. We just need to really pay attention to it and bring it up.
You have a question right here.
Gerard Bush.
You more mad about this problem in the world this year, these years, or more about cinema? I mean, it seems you more have a problem with cinema or with the problem of in our world these years.
That's a question for whom? Bill? I'm going to pass that one over to Bill.
Well, I'm sorry there's not an Iranian film here this year, because I'd ask that question of the Iranian director if I could. I'm going to work a little harder than I've been working on some of the other questions, because I think yours is a good one. And the others were not. I think this is what we do for a living up here. This is what we do. And speaking only for myself, I'd say I'm at my best when I'm working for a living. That when I'm not working, I'm lazy. And I feel the vitality of film is a sort of representation of the best of my current state of consciousness, if you will. So I'm a better person when I'm working on a film. So the two are close for me. The state of my work in a film is pretty much the high point of the week or the month or the year of my state in life. And my concern for the planet is mirrored, is explained and demonstrated in my concern for a film and the people that I work with on a film. So this is how I operate. This is my opportunity, my chance, the one that I demand of myself, that I bring the most of myself to. And you know, even this is sort of my work in film. I'm trying hard to be with you here. You know, so this is my little ice floe that I stand on, and I hope it doesn't melt.
Hello, good morning. This is Laura Sanchez from W Radio Colombia. My question is for Bill Murray. Good evening, Bill Murray. It's a pleasure to...
Good evening.
I hope my question is not too difficult. Do you believe in life after death? I'm wondering, because you were chasing ghosts first and now you're chasing zombies. Does this idea cross your mind? Thank you.
I'm going to chase you.
You can do it.
I'm going to chase you. I believe in life after death, but not for everyone. So, heads up. Some of you I'll see, and some of you I might not. Truly, I mean that. So, I hope later. See you later.
I think we're finished with that.
Hi, I'm Ole Costa from TV2 in Denmark. Everyone, feel free to...
Had many Iranian aspects in your previous film, but
a fascinating film. And I have a question for Mr. Jarmusch. I was thinking that it's fascinating how several of the stories in this film are kind of fatalist. It's about knowing the script hero movies, you know how it will end, and it's sort of also about facing a threat that actually can't be conquered. So I was wondering if you could elaborate on that a little bit. What were your thoughts on the strengths of fatalism in this film? And also, why did you think the quotes from Moby Dick fitted into this narrative? Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, well, starting with the end, I'm not really sure why Moby Dick fits into the film, but I wanted to, I just wanted the character of Hermit Bob to be someone who would appreciate this and find this book. Hermit Bob, having divorced himself from any kind of social order and living in the woods, but still receiving inspiration somehow from some human expression, and Melville being a great one. The question before that was fatalism. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Yeah, again, I'm not so conscious about how dark the film even is, frankly. Obviously it is to a large degree, but I was trying to balance certain things, obviously humor and this kind of darkness, and also through the character played by RZA from the Abbott, the leader of the Wu-Tang Clan and a longtime friend. He does have a very positive thing he says, which is a very simplistic thing about the world is perfect, appreciate the details. So in the midst of watching our planet being in really grave danger now, also we have to, for me, and I'm not trying to tell anyone what to do or think, but for myself, appreciation of human consciousness is something so incredibly beautiful, and we don't even know in the universe how rare it is to have consciousness and to appreciate the tiny moments of our lives every day. So I wanted that somehow in the film too, and not just the fatalism of it, but the darkness is a big part. Humor, I hope, is a big part too, because without jokes or comedians or comic things, it would be very difficult to stay alive as humans, in my opinion.
We have a question over there.
I guess he has like 60 seconds to pitch your role, and what does a director have to say? Does he have to charm you? How did Jarmusch make it?
Jim just throws a lot of money at you. He's complete BS. He just throws a lot of money at you. And gifts, lots of presents. For days and days, things start arriving at your door, and it's like, oh God, Jarmusch wants me to work for him. You can tell who it is by the way he operates. He's an operator. The guy's a shyster. He's a manipulator. And he's with us here today. I don't know how the hell I got this job. I really don't. I just was excited to, the script was funny. I don't know how I got the script. He lives in black and white in a kind of funny way, so it's about shadows with him. It's day for night, a lot of day for night with him. He comes at you in the daytime, but dressed as darkness.
Happy, fortunate, lucky to find Focus Features, who were our partner in making this movie, and there would be no film without them.
Got a question?
From Patterson, so thank you so much for that a few years ago. I would like to know, the zombies in this film come because the planet has been destroyed by humans. What the cast and producers, what do you think is the most pressing issue? What are you most worried about when it comes to our planet? Thanks.
Who wants to start with that? Yeah.
I'm not quite sure about, I think that our world is going through a lot, obviously, but I would say for my generation specifically, and I guess this is what kind of, what Jim gestured to in the film, is that social media has really been terrible for my generation. I understand that it's amazing to use your platform, but it does scare me when you see how exposed that these young girls and young boys are, and they're not really aware of the news or anything going on. It's a very, it's just, I don't want to say selfish because that feels rude, but it is I think it's dangerous for sure. I don't think people are getting the right information sometimes.
I would say maybe doubtlessness and the difficulty that people have in changing their minds about things. Maybe that.
Anyone want to?
Nobody wants to say anything else.
Well, I will say, that watching nature decline at unprecedented rates in the history of humans is, for me, terrifying and concerning. And what really concerns me is the kind of, not apathy, but I don't know, a failure to address something that threatens all living species and in a very rapid decline. So that disturbs me and scares me a lot, more than anything.
I think we have a question over there.
Sorry?
Your relationship to the horror genre.
Ooh, well, it's pretty nascent, my relationship with the horror genre. I've been dabbling recently with Luca Guadagnino in a certain amount of jump scaring. No, I mean, I'm very unversed in horror. I wasn't really exposed to horror when I was young, and I'm slowly working out that it thrills me to the core, and it's not actually a scare that I want to avoid.
But I also wanted to include some, European directors, Mario Bava and Dario Argento. And last night at the dinner, I got to meet for the first time John Carpenter and Dario Argento. So it was pretty cool, I must say.
Chloe, one word about that?
Yeah, when I was small, I saw The Exorcist, and it terrified me. And I went to my priest because I was raised Catholic, and I explained my fears to him, and he said, "Yes, it's true. It usually happens to young girls, so don't play Ouija or practice witchcraft, or you're inviting the devil into your soul." So I've been terrified ever since.
Selena, any experience like this?
Not necessarily that, but I'm obsessed with horror films. So growing up, my dad used to let me watch them just to scare me so he could laugh. But eventually I became obsessed. So I don't know, I like everything from Zombieland to 28 Days Later, The Walking Dead, and this Netflix series called Black Summer. So I'm obsessed with zombies for sure. Yeah.
Monsieur Murray?
I find Cannes frightening.
You don't see any zombies on the croisette so far.
Says you.
Nadia has a question right here.
Hi, I'm Nadia.
Oh boy, well, certainly Night of the Living Dead was the first Romero film I saw, and since seeing that, I saw pretty much most of his films. As a child, I first saw mostly the Universal monster movies, which had a big impression on me, especially Dracula, which I'm more of a fan of vampires than zombies. There are many horror directors that I love, some even contemporaries like Sam Raimi. I like John Carpenter's films. But I have a very wide interest in all types of films, so horror is not my biggest expertise is not in horror films, although I've absorbed a lot of them. But Romero is extremely important because he really changed the idea of zombies, and monsters too, because, and I'll try to keep this short, but monsters in films like Godzilla or Frankenstein, they come from outside the social structure, and they are menacing from outside of it. With Romero, the zombies come from within a collapsing social structure, and they also are victims as well. So it's very interesting what Romero did with zombies, making them both the victims and the kind of monsters. And he did very interesting things with the films by using its own kind of awkwardness as part of, the fabric of the film and how it affects us. So he used a lot of limitations, obviously, as strengths in that film. So again, we had a lot of references to George Romero.
The actors, do you want to follow?
I'd like to ask you, have you read the whole script when you're shooting the film, or you, like Bill, just read part of it?
I think I read the script. But I do remember the first time I heard Jim mention this film. I mean, I would say that actually, in answer to the previous questioner, in Only Lovers Left Alive, we do have zombies. Zombies do make an appearance. They're mentioned. And I remember thinking at the time, ooh, I bet you Jim's going to not be able to resist making a zombie film next. And he did quite soon after we made that film say to me, we're going to make a zombie film, what do you think? Way before there was a script. So yes, I did read the whole script, although the script is one thing and the film is something else. So there are always surprises. And we all saw, well, not Jim, but the rest of us all saw the film for the first time last night. So yeah, we were agog.
Full zombie shit this time for, to quote Tom Waits. Do you perceive a shift in your emphasis, in your treatment of horror? Maybe Tilda, you might have a thought on that as well.
Well, I don't really compare things. I also don't look back, and I don't really know that I'm the best person to respond to things in the films. But yeah, for me, Only Lovers Left Alive was a love story, and vampires was its kind of metaphor. And in this case, zombies are a very different kind of metaphor. I wanted to avoid making too much of a kind of splatter blood film, which is also why I wanted the zombies to be desiccated and only dried up dust, because otherwise the film would have really been a bloodbath. And I kind of wanted to get most of the bloody stuff out of the way with our first hero zombies, the coffee zombies. But yeah, I don't know. I think of this as a horror comedy, but the balance of it, I am not the best person to even understand that yet. So sorry for that inarticulate answer.
Which I enjoyed a lot. I have a question for Jim Jarmusch. I'm inquiring into maybe your changing horror aesthetic.
George Romero, I asked him a question once, and I asked him if a zombie movie had to be subversive or at least a little political to be good. He answered, no, it can just be entertainment, but it's a hell of a lot better if it means something. Do you agree on that? Do you share this statement?
Yeah, I do, and you know, George Romero is certainly our guide as far as kind of postmodern, what are zombies, you know? So I very much we looked up to George Romero, and we put a lot of references in our film to his films.
How about the subversive aspect of it?
Well, you know, I think just the zombies as metaphor is so laden, and I think some of the things that I read this morning, in fact, about our film were things that honestly hadn't quite occurred to me. So I think the metaphor is stronger than even I was analyzing or aware of, in a way. But yes, definitely it's part of the zombie mythology, but the metaphorical, inherent metaphorical thing of zombies.
All right, I'm gonna open the floor here over there. Again. Next to him, a gentleman who doesn't need any introduction, Mr. Bill Murray. All the talent from The Dead Don't Die, the first film in competition in Cannes this year. Yeah, come on! Let's follow Mr. Les photographes, vous pouviez retourner à vos places. Please. No, maybe later. Mesdames et messieurs les photographes, si vous pouviez retourner à vos places, s'il vous plaît.
Good.